Hello everyone, welcome to Come Sit at My Table. Today we are going to make banana pudding. Now this is not just a pudding mix thrown on some bananas and wafers. It's a little bit better than that. Actually, it's a whole lot better than that. This is a recipe I got 22 years ago from a coworker who taught school with Melissa and me. And we have used it over and over and over. It's a really good banana pudding recipe. It's good to take places. It's good just to have at home. So I think you're going to really love this one. Let's talk about what we're using. First, we have to have banana pudding. So we're using three 3.4 ounce boxes of Jell-O instant banana cream pudding. With that, we're going to add 4 1/2 cups of whole milk, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 8 ounces of sour cream, and this is the full fat sour cream. Don't use that low fat stuff. We're going to use 16 ounces of Cool Whip, and I'm using the extra creamy. You do not have to do that, but I just really do like the extra creamy. If you can find it in a 16 ounce tub, you can just get one 16 ounce tub of it. I could not find it. In fact, I've never found it in a 16 ounce tub. So I always have to buy 2 8 ounces. Then we're going to use 6 to 8 bananas. You'll use at least 6. You might have to use 8. And you do not want green bananas. You want good ripe bananas. And then you're going to need vanilla wafers. As we know, prices have soared over the last few years, and packages have shrunk. So there are not as many vanilla wafers in a box anymore as there used to be. So I'm going to start with 2 boxes. I hope it's enough. I hope I don't have to run to the store and grab another box to finish my top layer, but I might. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start with a layer of wafers in the bottom of our pan. Now, let me tell you, Melissa and I are taking this to a group of teachers. We just want them to know how much we appreciate them. We're taking it to the school where we retired from, and we're just going to put it in the teacher's lounge for them to eat on. So I'm taking it in a disposable pan, but I have made this before in a 9x13 baking dish. If you do that, it's going to be really full. So I'm using a little bit larger disposable pan. I think this one is 11x15, and it's fairly deep, so it's not going to be full, but it will be fine. The teachers aren't going to care. They'll still eat it. Okay, we're going to start by mixing. First, I'm going to move this back out of the way so that we can mix. I'm going to bring my mixer over here, and we're going to start mixing our milk and our pudding. It's a really full measuring cup of milk. So we're going to mix the pudding and the milk together first, and then we will add in the sugar, the vanilla, the sour cream, and the Cool Whip. So we're just going to add all 3 of these. Now, don't worry about the directions on the box. You're going to use 3 small boxes, 3.4 ounce boxes, and 4 1/2 cups of milk. Don't worry what the directions on the box say. We're ignoring those for this recipe. Just for this one. Well, maybe for some others too, but certainly for this one. Okay, let's get our second package of pudding mix in there. And by the way, you don't have to use Jell-O brand. You can use a store brand if you want to. That's up to you. It will work just fine, I'm sure. I probably shouldn't say that because I think I've never made this with anything but Jell-O brand, but I'm sure it will be just fine. Okay, now that we have our pudding mix in with our milk, we have to mix that. And we're going to mix it until it starts to become thick. Woo! Splashing it. Maybe I should turn it down just a hair. We're going to get all that mixed in really well. Get those lumps out of there. It is really splashing. I don't think I've ever had trouble with it doing it. Maybe it's this bowl. Now it's going to take a minute or two for this to start to thicken. So we will continue mixing until the pudding thickens. Our pudding has started to thicken, so we're going to sprinkle in our sugar. You can see it's thick enough that that sugar is laying right on top. And just half a teaspoon of vanilla. So that's about half of a cap. Won't take much, that's enough right there. Okay, and we're going to blend that in. Look how much thicker that has gotten. I can already tell somebody's going to say, oh, I can't stand the sound of those beaters hitting the side of that bowl. Well, I'm sorry. A kitchen is not a quiet place. There is noise in the kitchen. Okay, we have that in. So we're going to use a spatula to fold in our sour cream and our Cool Whip. I'm going to take these beaters out. I don't know anybody who might want to lick those beaters.
I'll try to take care of that for you.
Okay. Now, let's put in our sour cream. Get all of that out of there. And I'm going to start with 1 tub of Cool Whip. The recipe that I got 22 years ago said 12 to 16 ounces. So that would be 1.5 of these. But I have always used all 16 ounces. It just gives me plenty. That's probably why my 9x13 is always so full when I make this. If I only use 12, but it doesn't say 12, it says 12 to 16. So, I use it. I want to have it left over. This time, with the sour cream and 1 tub, I really do just stir it in. With the second one, I try to do more of the folding, so I don't whip out all those air bubbles from the Cool Whip. But with this one, I just need to get it stirred in. Loosen it up a little bit. Boy, that smells good. Smell that banana flavor. Okay. Let's start with our second one. And it will take just a little bit to get that folded in. Well, I told myself earlier, start with half of it and do that, and then decide if you need the other half, but I can't do that. Have to put it all in there. Okay. Now, notice that I'm not stirring. I'm going down under and folding over. That way, hopefully I won't break too much of that air that's in the Cool Whip. Keep it a little fluffier. And you just want to keep doing this until you don't see any streaks, white streaks of Cool Whip in there. Just keep folding. Make sure you go around the edges and get everything. Don't want anything unblended. There's a little bit of white right there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, we're going to start layering. Our first layer is going to be half of the pudding right on top of the vanilla wafers. And you have to be a little careful this time because those wafers do want to move around some. So you just have to kind of be careful and lay it down on there before you start spreading. That just kind of holds them in place. You don't want to move those around. You don't want them all piled up in the middle. So just carefully spoon it on there. You're going to use about half of this. And then we'll smooth it out before we put our bananas on. And listen, it doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be exactly half the pudding or half the bananas. It will be fine. Okay, now, actually I'm gonna put a little bit right there in that corner to try to keep those from coming up the edge when I spread it. Okay, now, we can just kind of spread that out. The pudding that's in there is kind of holding those down. And I'm telling you, that sour cream really enhances the flavor of this. You don't want to leave that out. Make sure you put that in there. I'm gonna do one more spoon. Okay. We'll just spread that out a little bit. Now we're going to do a layer of bananas. We're going to use about half of our bananas. So, let's get those peeled. Get those peelings off there. You always want to check your bananas to make sure they're okay. Make sure there are no bad places, no rotten spots. You don't want those strings in there, so if you see strings hanging like that, just gently pull those off. If we were a monkey, we'd eat those, but we're not. So we'll just pull those off. Actually, maybe I am a monkey, because sometimes I do just leave them underneath them, but not if I'm making a banana pudding to take to someone else. You see there's several of them. Okay, now we're just going to slice these. I'm not slicing them super thick, but not super thin either. We just want to make sure we have enough to go on our banana pudding and not run out. And I may need another one on this layer. That's why I got 8 bananas. Tried to find some that were ripe enough, but not overly ripe. Okay, so we're going to keep slicing these and we'll start layering, and then we will finish the banana pudding. So you can see that I have now put a layer of bananas on top of our pudding, and now we're just going to start with another layer of wafers. The first layer on the bottom, I wasn't too particular. I just kind of poured them in and spread them out. But this time, I'm going to be very intentional about making sure that every bite of banana pudding gets a piece of vanilla wafer. We don't want somebody to get cheated. So, I have to make sure we get some on every bite. And those wafers, now this is going to sit in the refrigerator overnight. Those wafers will become soft. I'm gonna break this one. Put half of it there and half of it over there. These will become soft and very nice. They'll just be delicious on this. Banana pudding is not hard. But let me tell you, there are a million different recipes for banana pudding. I've had, you wouldn't believe how many people, yeah you would, because some of you have read the comments, how many people have said, does Melissa ever cook? Well, I'm going to tell you, Melissa does cook. Melissa's a great cook, but she doesn't cook on camera. She does not want to be filmed cooking. I can't get those two apart. You know what? I'm just going to use them together. One thing that she makes that is fantastic is a hot baked banana pudding. It's not this recipe. This is a very simple banana pudding, but Melissa's is hot and baked and has a meringue on top of it. And I've never made it because it's her recipe.
You can make it sometime for our channel.
Well, I could do that. You'd have to show me what to do because I've never even watched you make it. But let me tell you, it is delicious. It is one of my very favorite desserts. Oh, I can't get those two apart. What in the world? These are really stuck. I'm going to break these too. Because I need some down here along this edge. I don't want anybody to get cheated. Okay. Now, on top of that goes the rest of our pudding. So everything's going on. And I'm just going to lay that spoon over there. I don't think I'll need it again, but we'll see. Put it right there. Look how thick that has gotten. I'm just going to spoon dollops on top of those wafers so that they don't move around too much when we get ready to spread it. But all of this goes in now. When I get some on there and they won't move, I'm just going to dump the rest of it. So, you're going to teach me to make your hot banana pudding with meringue?
Well, absolutely. It's not anything too hard, I promise.
Any chance you'd just do it on film, on camera?
I can teach you how to do it in no time, baby.
I knew that answer before I even asked.
Hey, my mama taught me.
Yeah, it is Melissa's mom's recipe, actually. And man, is it good. So your mom taught you to make that a long time ago. I know.
I really like it. But
I do too.
The problem with it is because you bake it.
You know
really
what?
have to eat
I
it
didn't
when-
put my bananas on here.
Oh, no, honey, you didn't.
I didn't. I forgot.
We got to start talking.
I know.
I'm sorry, I distracted you probably.
It's okay. You know what? It's going to be fine. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Hey, this is real life cooking.
We are not professionals.
And sometimes you make mistakes. It's okay. Nobody's perfect in the kitchen, are they? But I can fix that. I'm just going to push those bananas right down in that pudding.
That'll work.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. With the baked one, you can't make it ahead because after you bake it, those bananas will start to turn brown.
Yeah. You make it and eat it
You
right
have
then.
to eat it right then, and it's, in my opinion, it's not very good leftover. So.
No, I agree. It's not. But that's a good excuse to get to eat all of it.
Well, okay, that works too.
Okay, I want all that out there. Especially now that I have to push those bananas down in it. Okay, so we are going to slice up the rest of those bananas, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to correct this mistake. But we're going to get this pudding spread out on here first. There's always a way to fix a problem. So here's what we've done. We put our bananas on top of the pudding rather than under it. And I'm just going to take an offset spatula and cover them up. That will help them not to turn because we don't want them to turn brown. So we just need to make sure that they all have a layer of pudding. And if there's not enough to cover them, we'll just push them down in there a little bit more. You just want to make sure there's a layer of pudding over top of them. And I apologize for messing that up, but that's not unlike me. It's not. You know it. They do too if they've been watching a while. So we just spread that pudding, and I'm going to push those down in there good. And you know what? The teachers who eat this won't care at all that I put those in the wrong order.
We remember when we were teaching and people would bring us something like this. So nice to get away from a packed lunch or a school lunch.
Absolutely. And to have dessert during the school day. Okay. Now, what goes on top? The vanilla wafers, of course. Let's make sure there's some pudding right there. Okay. So let's put that on there and spread that out just a little bit. Okay. Put all that on there. And now our last layer of vanilla wafers. And we'll be done. So, we can't taste this today because those vanilla wafers have to sit and get soft. Yeah, you can eat it right now, but the truth is, it's better if it sits for a while. So we're going to cover this, put it in the refrigerator. We'll let it sit tonight, and tomorrow morning, before we take it to school for them to enjoy, we will come back and we'll do a sample. And they won't care at all that there's one piece missing out of the corner. Our banana pudding has been in the refrigerator overnight. The vanilla wafers have softened up. It is really nice. And now I'm ready to do a taste test.
Looks really good, doesn't it?
It is early in the morning and we're getting ready to take this to the school so the teachers can have a little treat. And I'm going to taste it before we take it. And just so you don't think I forgot Melissa, I did ask her and she said, it's just too early in the morning for me to have banana pudding. I didn't know there was such a thing as too early for banana pudding, but here we go. Wow, that is so good. The 3 boxes of banana cream pudding really give it that banana taste. That is delicious. And the bananas are delicious in it. That is really good. I think they're going to love this. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We sure would appreciate it if you'd go right below this video and click the thumbs up, the like button, the share button. And if you've not before, click our subscribe button and the little notification bell beside of it in the word all. Remember that right under the video where you see the title of this recipe, if you'll click that title or in that box, it will expand. Melissa always puts the written recipe right there for you, and our contact information is under that recipe. And then, of course, there's a place at the bottom for you to leave a comment, and we do enjoy reading your comments. So feel free to leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching our video, and remember, you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Have a great day.